Today our lesson is titled Mean Absolute Deviation, or it can be abbreviated as MAD. So write down your lesson title, please. And our learning target, we're going to use the mean absolute deviation to compare data. Okay, so our definitions, if you look at mean absolute deviation, so mean we should remember is the average of the data. Absolute value comes from the beginning of the school year. That's the distance a number is from zero on a number line, and that's always positive. Deviation, that's a measure of variability. So that's, remember, spread or difference, range, that shows how far a number is from the overall pattern of data. So if you will pause and copy those vocab for me. Okay, here's our steps to finding the mean absolute deviation. The first thing we have to do is just find the regular mean of the data set. Okay, then step 2, we're going to find the difference of each number from the mean, and I'll show you how to use a chart for that. And then step 3, we're going to add the differences and divide by the number of the data, and that's going to be our mean absolute deviation. So copy down your steps, please. Okay, let's just do a real quick review on just finding the mean. So if we have the numbers listed here, we're going to go through and we're going to add the numbers together, and that should be a sum of 44. Our next step, we need to count how many numbers there are so we can divide. There should be 10 numbers, and if we divide 44 by 10, that should give us 4.4. So just the mean of that data set is 4.4. Okay, so you tried this one. This is just finding the mean. Okay, if you added those up, you should have gotten 240. If you divide by 8, you have 30. Now we're going to talk about some examples. So example 1, we're going to list out our numbers. So our numbers for this example are 2, 3, 5, 3, 8, and 9. So the first step, remember, it said find the mean of the data. So if we do 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 8 plus 9, that should give me 30, and then divide it by 6, that's 5. So the mean of the data set is 5. Okay, step 2, here's where we're going to talk about the chart I mentioned. We're going to find the difference of each number from the mean. So what I want you to do right here is go ahead and copy this chart. The far left column is going to be data, then in the middle put subtract each from the mean. And remember, the mean was 5. That's what's in the parentheses there. And then we're going to find the difference. Okay, so if we go through and fill in the chart, our data was 2, 3, 5, 3, 8, and 9. So in our center, it says subtract each from the mean. So we do 5 minus 2, 5 minus 3, 5 minus 5, 5 minus 3. And here, we're always going to put the bigger number first because remember, absolute value is positive. So our difference is 3 and 4. Okay, so we found the difference. Each one is from the mean. Okay, so copy this for step 2. Now step 3, don't copy this again. We have it from the other page. Just copy step 3, and then down here at the bottom, we're going to. This is where we want you to start copying. So we're going to add the differences. So it was a difference of 3, 2, 0, 3, and 4, which is a total of 14. Now we have to divide that by how many numbers we had, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we do 14 divided by 6, that means that gives us 2 and 3/10 repeated. So the mean absolute deviation is 2.3. That just means that that data differs from the mean by about 2.3. Now, the closer a MAD is to 0, the more the consistent the data is, means it's probably going to be more reliable. Okay, so example 2, here are our numbers. We're going to find the mean, so we're going to add them up. That should give us a sum of 88. And there are 11 numbers. If you do 88 divided by 11, 88 divided by 8 should give us 11. Okay, because there are 8 numbers. So now we're going to go over here and copy our chart. Remember your data, and then you're going to subtract that from the mean and the difference. So here we're going to put all of our data. Okay, then we subtract it from the mean. The mean was 11. We're always going to do positive numbers. So this is the difference. Each one of these is from the mean. Okay, so that means we're now going to find the difference. Well, we already did that. We're going to divide. So the mean absolute deviation is 1.75. So that means it deviates approximately 1.75. So just to review, we're going to find the mean of the data, make a table that's going to have our data, our subtraction step, and our differences. And you're always going to put the larger number first when you're dividing. And then step 3, find the mean of the differences. And then at that point, we can use this to compare data. You can compare the mean absolute deviations, things like that.